being an entrepreneur, I was in the rock and roll industry. And back in the 80s, I started studying with a man named Dr. R. Buckminster Fuller.
Do you always run out of money? Are you always afraid to spend and still end up spending huge amounts of money on stuff you don't even need? Is financial management an issue for you? You should always seek expert opinion when it comes to trying new things. At least draw inspiration from them for success. There is one such person you can look up to for motivation and learn the basics of taking your shortcomings as an opportunity rather than cribbing about them. He is none other than Robert Kiyosaki. If you are clueless about who he is, let me first take you on a quick ride of this man's bio before jumping into today's point of discussion. Who is Robert Kiyosaki? Robert Kiyosaki was born in 1947 in Hawaii, USA. He is a fourth-generation Japanese who was the eldest of all four children in his family. His father is an educator and an academician, and his mother is a registered nurse. Robert graduated from the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy with a degree of Bachelor of Science. He also got a commission as second lieutenant of the Marine Corps. He also served as the gunship pilot for a helicopter during the 1972 Vietnam War. Robert also got an Air Medal for his service and was later discharged from his duties in 1974. While he was working in sales for Xerox, he became an audience for the EST seminar, which, according to him, changed his life. Robert Kiyosaki tried setting up several businesses, but failed terribly at some of them and went bankrupt. But that did not stop him from achieving greater heights. He laid the foundation of Cashflow Technologies Inc. in 1997. It was a financial company and operated the Rich Dad and Cashflow brands, the sale of software and board games, oil investment in real estate, and other business ventures initiated by him are the main source of his income. Robert Kiyosaki has forever preached 10 rules for a successful and wealthy life. He put forth these points that may help other people rise and shine in their lives. He was never demotivated by his shortcomings. He rather took them as an opportunity to learn and do better. He applied these very same 10 rules for happiness and success in his life that played an important role in helping him gain wealth and become successful. Let's explore each of these rules one by one and understand them in detail. Number 1. Experience makes you smarter. When Robert Kiyosaki went to purchase his first real estate property, he made the down payment through his credit card. People told him that it was an unwise move. The investment couldn't generate good returns but was only capable of generating small monthly incomes. This was a good lesson in his life. Every time he goes out to invest in real estate, he feels that the experience he had with his first real estate purchase made him smarter. Therefore, he lays emphasis on the importance of gaining experience. Number 2. The more you give, the more you receive. According to Robert Kiyosaki, the more a person focuses on giving to others, the more he receives. As per Robert, giving is an attitude that encourages the financial well-being of a person. He gave an example stating that the people around you who seem to have no money are the ones who want more money but don't want to give more. Giving here is not explicitly linked to money. Giving can be in the form of putting more effort into work or sharing blessings with the other person. Number 3. Change your thinking. Robert Kiyosaki mentioned that every time he receives an income, he focuses on paying himself first. He later turns towards paying his other obligations. By paying himself, he means that he tries to invest money for buying properties. Every time a bill collector approaches him, he looks at them as a motivation to earn more. Therefore, he keeps himself motivated through this to figure out better ways for income generation to repay his bills. When you change the way you perceive things and adopt a positive attitude towards life, you entitle yourself to better things. You stay motivated and try to work in the direction of your goal achievement. Thus, you can promote your growth by changing your thinking and adopting a positive attitude towards life. Number 4. Hard times come up with newer and better opportunities. During one of his interviews, Robert mentioned that the economies in the world keep fluctuating. They may never be constant and their value may keep going up and down. But even if it's the hardest time of your life, you must remember that you will always have new opportunities knocking at your door. You just need to be vigilant enough to recognize and grab these opportunities. These may turn out to be great investments in the future. When you are in any difficult situation, you can do two things. You can either let the situation demotivate you, or you can make up your mind to act otherwise and change your fate. Remember, at the end of every dark tunnel, there is bright and vibrant light. One incident in the life of Robert Kiyosaki proves this point. Kiyosaki once planned on purchasing 5 golf courses that were costing him $260 million. But he waited patiently, and when America was hit by an economic crisis, he purchased the same golf courses. He got them from a bank at a huge bargain. Number 5. Focus. Robert emphasizes on the importance of focusing rather than diversifying. He said that when you focus on a single task, you tend to perform better at it. On the other hand, if you try to perform multiple tasks at once, you divide your concentration and you are not able to put in your 100% on anything, and that's where you end up creating a mess. He created an acronym, FOCUS, which stands for Follow One Course Until Successful. When Robert began investing in real estate, he neither gave up nor lost his confidence. He kept on trying and experimenting on the same task until he was able to figure out the things that work for him and the things that do not. Once he was able to figure out a way and make one of his ventures successful, only then did he make up his mind to shift to another career venture. And then he repeated the same method of investing his complete attention on the new thing that he started. According to Robert, if you take up lots of tasks simultaneously, you end up completing none of them perfectly. Number 6. Losses should not scare you. Profits and losses are the main part of an entrepreneurial business. There has been no entrepreneur to date who has not experienced his share of profit and loss. When you earn a profit, you tend to celebrate, but when you suffer a loss, you start thinking differently and it becomes impossible for you to cope with the loss. Famous personalities like Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Steve Jobs, and Henry Ford are all successful because they have had a fair share of losses. He even admitted that he has also lost millions while investing, but he didn't let the thing affect him and saved himself from getting disheartened. This experience will make you stronger. He also explained it by giving an analogy in which he explains how a child learns to walk only after falling and getting hurt multiple times. If they never fall, they will never learn to walk. Number 7. Clarity. You can make money in umpteen ways. You can opt for any method. Go ahead and earn your fair share of the money. But before you make up your mind, you need to finalize on what you want to work for. For instance, the employees in the US have to pay taxes that are as high as 50% of their income. As per stats, this becomes an inefficient way to earn. On the other hand, when you notice the taxing on buying and selling stocks, you'll realize that the tax levied, in this case, 20% is your total income. Hence, this method of earning is beneficial and better than the previous one. Number 8. Take care of details. One of the few early businesses of Robert included selling uniquely designated wallets. In the beginning, this venture was successful, but the company suffered huge losses because of the bad design. With this, he learned a lesson that only starting a business won't do the job for you. You will also have to provide your customers with consistent quality and better designs. A business isn't totally about profits. Rather, it should help you in maintaining a good reputation for long-term success and also achieve greater heights. Number 9. Rather than saving, hedge your money. Robert Kiyosaki mentions how saving money has become old-fashioned. It is not practical in today's modern world. The logic behind this can be understood by the fact that when money becomes currency after printing in the banks, it loses its value. Interest is always smaller than inflation, and thus, the value of money continues to decrease. What you can rather do is hedge your money rather than saving it. By hedging, you use your money to purchase things like assets, gold, etc. that will never lose and the prices will always increase, unlike money. Number 10. Acquire assets. The assets acquired by you define the profitability of your business. Companies that own a large share of assets tend to perform better and get more investors than any company with little or no assets. For example, the Rich Dad Company of Robert Kiyosaki is adding franchises, releasing books, and putting in every possible effort to add assets to his business. Doing these ensures an increase in the total income of a company. Robert Kiyosaki has achieved greater things in life with his attitude towards the different things in his life. His losses or failures do not dishearten him. Rather, he focuses on ways he can improve so that he doesn't get to face a similar situation again. We all must learn something from the 10 rules of success as prescribed by Robert Kiyosaki. He has come across good as well as bad experiences on his path, but he never let anything get to his head. He believed in growth, he believed in development, and he believed in himself and his capabilities. All these qualities summed up together led him towards success.